and Treatment Center.
Yes.
And this is incredible.
Yes.
I've driven by this place, I don't know, hundreds
I didn't know
of
what it was.
time. I know, it looks like a hotel. I mean, this is the most
beautiful.
beautiful
It's
facility. And I can't wait to tell people about what they do here, because not only is it beautiful, but they're doing great work and helping so many people.
No, I totally agree. And I think it's like perfect time and a perfect area to have these type of services for our community.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So before we get to talk to them, what's been going on? It's been weeks now, I feel like, since I've seen you.
Haven't seen my sister in about 3 weeks.
It's so crazy.
She went to Turks and Caicos.
I did. And it's hard to come back. I mean, we live in paradise, but there's something about the beach there.
Well,
and the
you went to Turks. I went away. I went to Boynton.
You went to Boynton?
Yeah,
you went so far. You crossed the line into Boynton.
Yeah, I went to Boynton.
I mean, that is far for me. Let's be real. I stay like this is as far south as I go as Linton. I go up as far north as like Woolbright.
Yeah, but I've seen some of the stuff that you posted over the trip, so it looks like you and your family had a lot of time.
It was
also working
amazing.
a little bit as well.
I mean, it was a workcation. I worked most of the time. They were all on vacation. But it was for an event with 300 ladies.
I seen Solomon working.
It was. I know. Poor Solomon always gets stuck up working. He thinks he's going on vacation. I'm like, actually, can you help me, please?
Yeah.
But it was wonderful just getting to connect with other people women from all around the country, and I got to teach them how to make jewelry. I mean, that's not a bad day of work, right?
No,
you get to go to a beautiful island and make jewelry. It's be a lot worse.
It's not called work at all.
I know. I was like, it's one of those days where I was like, wow, I get to call this work. And then I came back and it was like craziness. And I was like, oh yeah, this is why it's work.
I totally agree.
So you've been busy with your podcast, among other things.
Oh man, just podcast and dad again.
Football season with your son.
Football season with my son. They're doing a phenomenal job with the Delray Rocks program. They're undefeated. Somehow they sucked me in to be a volunteer coach as well.
Of course they did. Of course. What do you mean somehow? You're like, no.
Coach Lance
yeah.
and Coach Hot Rod, it started out, I'll come out once a week, and help out.
Yeah.
Find myself there every day. But, volunteering. But I'm there at the park anyways because my son is out there, so I have to be out there. So,
and you're good at it.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
I haven't had the opportunity to work with a younger group of kids in a long time, so it's humbling. I love it. I love it.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
And of course, Do Good Delray is in full swing.
Yes.
As he's sporting the shirt today.
Do
so
good, baby.
Many incredible events happening throughout this month with the Delray Beach Chamber. And check them out. There's something for everyone.
Go on DelrayBeach.com and look at the calendar. I mean, you should have a month full of events.
Absolutely.
You got opportunities to go on dates and party and do everything that you want to do, and everything's for a good cause.
That's a great date idea, actually, to go, whether it's somebody you've been dating or a new date, like one of our members of our team here. That's a great opportunity to do something interesting on a date, whether it's somebody you've been with or somebody new.
Yeah, I truly
Well, we have incredible guests today.
Yes.
Do you want to welcome on the first guest?
Yeah, so our first guest, listen, if you're in Delray and you don't know this guy, you haven't heard of the program, you've been asleep.
You're not really in Delray Beach.
Yeah, you need to wake
You're
up.
not really here.
I think everybody in South Florida, really, this guy is he's internationally known. He's known to rock the microphone because I did, let me stop. All right, let's go. Emmanuel DeP Jackson, and also Ms. Adrienne Kerman from the EJS Project. She's the board member, and he's our founding director. Let's welcome them. Love. Come here.
Thank you. So I have to say, every time that I talk to you, I learn about even more that you're doing with EJS Project. And just when I think like this is so incredible, I don't think anybody could build this program any better. Somehow, within 5 minutes, you tell me 30 other things that you do that are mind-blowing. I mean, the programming, and you've got to speak at some of his events.
Yes.
The programming that you're building are things that every human needs, and you're doing it with kids.
Absolutely, yes.
So
Thank
can
you.
you tell us a little bit about what you have going on? I mean, there's a million things.
There is.
But the big program that you have right now.
First of all, thank you for that. That means a lot. And a lot of that innovation just comes with responding. And also not just to our kids and families and their needs, but partners. The more work we do, the more engagement, the more minds, the more ideas. And we take what we can and try to run with it. But we're here today to talk about our Teen Career Day. We're excited about that. Teen Career Day is, to sum it up, it leads up to preparing our kids for opportunities to earn workforce readiness skills. Over the summer, we have a program we talked about. It's called Purpose Pays. Our teens get their first work experience with paid internships. This past summer, we had 19 kids, 13 different businesses throughout Delray, Boynton, and Boca. So
19.
19 kids, and it's events like this. You know, Jamel is actually on the committee to help plan it. Him, a couple other gentlemen, Arif Khan, Marcus, Doug Parker, and Prince Mobley.
So a lot of wonderful
right,
people.
exactly. And we started this back in 2016, and we just try to keep getting better.
And you are.
We are.
It's not try. You are doing it. I mean,
You know the crazy thing too, in 2016, I seen the pictures from 2016.
I wish we had some of those to show.
From that career day that was playing. I was looking at it on Facebook. I seen it this morning, and seeing where those kids that was part of the program, where they are now, a lot of them about to graduate college, you know, at this given point. You know, I see Jeremiah McClendon, Delray, like watching these kids, seeing them dressed up, shirt and tie. You know, it was dope. It was a really dope experience. So.
And this time we just try to take it to the next level. So we're going to spend 5 hours together. It's from 10 to 3 Saturday, October 14th, and just that day is going to look like a lot of networking. Kids going to have mock interviews. We're going to start with the aptitude test, so kids have an idea what their strengths may be, what their weaknesses are. And then we have a lot of professionals just coming to pour into them. We're going to have workshops so they can work on elevator pitches. They're going to take headshots, so they're going to leave with that. They're going to leave with a resume. Professional headshot. So we're investing in them that way. So it's great, and it's all thanks to our partners and our funders. I definitely want to shout out Impact 100 Men, who helped fund the start of Teen Career Readiness. The Kimmel Family Fund, who funds us to provide those internships and be able to pay those kids for their time and learning.
That's a big deal. I think that is one of the, I mean, you have so many things that are so important, but I think it's one of the most special things that you do for the community too.
That's right.
Because now people in the community who may be looking for an intern, maybe they don't have a budget, they're a small business, they don't have a budget for an intern, and they get to take on one of these wonderful students under their wing, show them what they do, and then the kids get to walk away with real life experience and get paid.
And get paid.
They get paid.
And I think too, when you look at the people that you have supporting you, when you look at your board members, I remember when I first met you, Adrian.
It's small world.
Yes, small world. So it was through doing good work in Delray, you know, through prepping sports, and you were managing a restaurant downtown, and you always opened the doors for us to do any type of events to help better the community. I know that you have a big heart. What really made you get involved with EJS?
Seriously, dog.
Jamel, you made the connection, but it's just I don't get involved in things I don't believe in. And I saw what Dupree was doing, and year after year, you know, I just kind of watched from the sidelines. But I would, you know, still like send donations and stuff, and then, you know, sponsor block parties and do stuff like that. Well, then Dupree put up a post and said, anyone interested in being a board member? And I said, me. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So we went to lunch, and I'm going almost done with my second year on the board, and I really get involved, and I got to know the kids, and I've seen so many things happen. I've been there when parents have come in and said, please help, my kid needs help. And Dupree, Marcus, and Arif, they just stop what they're doing and talk to this parent. And I've watched a kid that had a 1.7 grade average. Now he's at a 3.8.
Wow.
And he's doing amazing. And this year, you know, I said to him, okay, I want to see you get a 4.0. And, you know, like, I throw him a little incentive sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, I really love this kid.
Kids really do need they need a little bit of push sometimes.
But I think too, even for the programs like the teen career readiness program, in order to have programs that you're doing within your organization to have it flourish, there's a huge gala coming up. So a lot of people don't know which ways that they can support the program, but I think I'll let you guys talk about it, but this is a way that they can really support what you guys have going on.
So I'm going to pass it on to her to talk about the gala, but it's important because you say ways to help the support. Like the Teen Career Day, that's where the seeds are planted, how we fostering and building and molding these kids. All that takes is time and effort for you to be intentional about marking off your calendar to come network. You don't have to spend any money to do that, like pour into these kids, you know? But we can't do this, you know, out of just passion. You know, you need to raise funds to manage the budget, and we do that by it is our biggest fundraiser of the year. And our fundraising chair, is, who helps make it all possible.
Well, thank you, but you do the heavy lifting
Thank
as far as everything else. I just raise money.
That's very important. Not a just. Without the money, he can't lift anything. He'll have a broken back.
But what Dupree does, it tugs on people's heartstrings because Dupree and the staff, they're making a difference,
Yes.
right? So when you put that in front of people, then the money comes because it's something that a lot of people can get behind and support. That being said, we're having our second annual gala at the Addison in Boca on October 19th. There's all different ways you can get involved, even if you can't be there. There's you can go to the page and make a donation. There's still sponsorship opportunities. It's a fun event, 4 hours, open bar, seated dinner. We have a nice, fun little aspect after, but you would have to come to see what that's going to be about.
Can people give raffle items or things like that? So if somebody's watching that maybe can't attend, if they have a restaurant or a business, is that something that you accept?
Absolutely.
And we would appreciate.
Okay, well, I will get one. You got to come and find
Thank
me.
you.
Dupree knows where to find me. Just have to come and find me, track me down, and I'll get you guys one. Because I think that's a way for all of you out there who can't maybe attend. I mean, if you can't attend, great. It sounds like a great time. But if not, find some way to participate, whether it's donating or a raffle or something of that nature.
Yeah.
So you can give them the website and the information that people can go to purchase tickets or to support the organization.
Yes, it's EJSgala23.givesmart.com.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll put that on there and put it on the Facebook, so that way, if you can't remember it, you can see it.
Thank you so much.
No
Thank
problem.
you for
Anything
all
else
that
that
you
you
do.
that you guys want to throw out there in regards to EJS?
Well, in regards to the gala, we go to print Thursday. Well, tomorrow. That's
Tomorrow.
quick. But if you are interested in watching, we would love to get you in our ad journal. Say congratulations, say a few words, market your business, whatever that may be. But really, I want to take this time to say thank you, man. Really, preparing for this show, I felt extremely motivated just by how everybody in the community continues to come together, that goodwill for EJS and all kids. I went to an event last night and I just was reminded about how thankful we should be, how special of a place Delray is.
Yeah.
And I'm honored to be a part of it. People like Adrian, all the people who sponsor our gala, it allows us to do what we do. And I just want to say thank you. I'm really grateful.
Well,
No
we're
problem.
thankful
We
for
thank you,
all
man.
that you do in helping our community and making it such a special place. Without people like you guys stepping up to help the kids, who knows what Delray could be like?
That's right.
Wouldn't it be so wonderful?
Oh, man.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you, and we can't wait
Hey,
to.
how did my
see
rap
what's
go
going
at the
on.
beginning with the introduction?
It was
Did I
really
kill
good.
it?
I was very proud of you. That was a really good one. I
I
think
need
you
to
have.
get in the recording studio.
That's his gonna be his new side hustle. That's his new. Okay, there you go. And I'll shake a tambourine
There we
for
go.
you.
There we go.
That'll be good. That'll
We
be
have
good.
Adrian in the background,
Backup dance.
Thank you guys
We got
very
it.
much.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for all that you do. Such an incredible organization.
No, I agree. I
Doing
agree.
so much good in our community.
I mean, for what they're doing, they really make it easy to support them because nothing is about them, it's about the kids and it is about the people
Everything.
that's coming behind them. And I always tell people that, yes, it's a business. He's in the business of developing people,
Yes.
you know, big time. So this is our future. Everybody talk about, you know, that the next generation, what is the next generation going to do? This guy right here is making sure that our kids have a, you know, a good group of things around them, you know.
And I just want to say, down to the last detail, Dupree was looking to get some professional clothes for the kids.
Right.
All of these things that, you know, could be an oversight. People are like, oh yeah, they have it. He sees the need that the kids needed some nice dress pants and uniforms, and he took care of that as well. So the kids didn't have to think about it. The parents don't have to think about it.
That's a good point. I think when I was coaching at Atlantic, we would have days where I would tell the kids, I want you to dress in professional attire. You know, so kids didn't even know what that meant.
Right.
They didn't know what it meant. You know, so I'm like, you know, wear a blazer or wear a Coach, I don't have a blazer.
Yeah.
You know, to them, putting on some jeans and
That
just
was
a nice pair of
nice.
Jordans
Yeah.
in the that's what's professional attire to
And
them.
he's
So,
teaching them.
but now he's teaching them exactly what professional attire is. So,
It's a big deal.
so that when they get ready to go out in the workforce and go out in the work world, they show up for an interview, they walk into the door,
And they
They're gonna make
they
an
look
impression.
good
They
and
look
feel
good, feel
good.
good.
I
Definitely.
agree. Well,
Yep.
talking about feeling good,
Right.
this is a place for people who need some help and want to better themselves.
Yes, I totally agree. I think this is that establishment, not only just helping better that individual, but also bettering it, the whole situation around them, family and everything else. So you want to introduce us?
Yes, so here from the Caron Treatment Centers, we have Dr. Taryn oh goodness, I practiced it 5 times. You're going to say your name when you come on. We're going to, Dr. Taryn, we are going to call her, and Anna, who is the Senior Clinical Director, and Anna Green, the Lead Mental Health Clinician.
Yeah, and the crowd goes wild.
Okay, so I messed up her name. I practiced it so many times, and I was like, I got this one.
She messed up my name
I messed
too.
up everybody's name.
Yeah,
I
she
think,
messed up
and
my
that's why
name.
he does it to me. He gives me all the really hard ones so that I look like the silly.
But you're not
guy.
supposed to try to do the last name. Just introduce the first name.
Okay,
But you,
Dr. Taryn, but she's probably proud of her full doctor name. So can you say your name for us, please?
Well, thank you. Dr. Taryn Jaramillo. I'm the Senior Clinical Director here at Kiel Center.
So, I mean, when you walk onto this property, this feels like a 5-star resort.
Yes.
So for people who are looking for help, or families or that are looking for help for loved ones, how do they find you? How do they get to know about the programming that you have here?
Well, first of all, Caron Foundation has been helping people with dual diagnosis for over 65 years. We've been in Florida for over 10. Over that period of time, we saw a need to develop a facility like this, state-of-the-art, nothing like it. This is 100,000 square feet, 4 floors of care. We now have the full continuum of care when it comes to dual diagnosis treatment and mental health. So we have detox. We have an older adult program treating adults with dual diagnosis, addiction, mental health issues. We have our signature program, Ocean Drive, which is treating patients who require a higher level of discretion or privacy during their treatment experience. We also have our mental health track program and our Renaissance Pros track, which are for younger professionals. So we have opened in February of 2023, so we're coming up on an anniversary. You're right, this feels like a hotel. I refer to it.
It's a great place to arrive every morning and realize you work here.
Absolutely, and for people staying, so when I was in college, I thought I was going to do psychology. I give you guys so much credit. I was not emotionally strong enough and cried for my patients. Terrible thing in a doctor. You don't want that. But I worked at a geriatric psychiatry center and did research.
Okay.
It did not feel like this. If it felt like this, I might have stayed with psychology, but it was very scary, and it did. It really made me realize what was happening and how, you know, things. You need more facilities like this because I think a lot of people would seek the help if they knew that there were options out there like this with caring, lovely people in a place that they could feel comfortable.
We agree.
And I mean, what you created here is unbelievable. So we're going to talk about the mental health program because that is a huge thing, especially I think post-COVID. So many people are struggling. They don't know where to get help, and people need to have a resource like this. So what would you say for people who are trying to figure out if this is the right path for them?
Sure. So the mental health program that we have here, it's a partial hospitalization program with housing. So patients come here every day for clinical programming and live off-site in apartment-style living.
Wow.
So the beautiful thing about this level of care is it's kind of patients are either needing a step up or a step down. Do you want to talk a little bit more about the actual level of care?
Sure. So when we were looking at the landscape, a lot of the resources around mental health needs are dedicated to emergency care. Emergency room, mobile crisis unit, or a higher level of care than that, a psychiatric unit, right, for stabilization. But then the question is, where do they go from there? What's the in-between? So Caron decided to parlay its 65 years of experience in dual diagnosis into the treatment of patients who have a primary diagnosis of mental health care. So we define that, as Anna said, as partial hospitalization. So we think that this level of care is important for 2 reasons. One is that it dispels the myth that people with serious mental illness can't lead a meaningful life. This is simply not true.
Right.
And we have the patients and the outcomes to prove that.
Incredible.
And as you talked about, this community of caring, this felt experience, this level of care promotes the power of community inclusion. community inclusion for people with mental health is not something that begins when they get better. It's actually the thing that helps them get better. And for many of our patients coming into this program, it's the first time that they have a felt sense of belonging. And I'll tell you, that is a game changer. That's a shapeshifter. That changes the trajectory of their life. They're actually able to see pathways, opportunity, and a world that's making space for them.
Incredible. And I would imagine, too, they feel less alone because they see other people who are suffering in a similar way instead of feeling like this person who's so isolated in their suffering. And they feel like, okay, I've got this, and these are the people that can help me.
So I have a question. I know there's different degrees to mental health, different levels of it. A lot of things that I see is that if people that go through, let's say, some type of social trauma, some type of trauma, they go through something in life and it causes them to go off and change their whole makeup. When you have somebody, a loved one or a family member going through that, like, what are some of the things that you should do? How do you handle those situations?
That's a great question.
Great.
Sure, I think it really depends on what you're noticing in them. Sometimes we kind of call it like warning signs or what's going on for them, and if they're already receiving some level of care or some support. So for example, if someone you know is already attending weekly individual therapy.
Just say this somebody, just a regular normal person, they haven't had any care, but now they just went through some situation.
And they don't know where to even go to start.
They don't even, and they probably don't even know that they're having a.
Oh, got it. Okay, okay.
You know,
So
and
when you're
witnessing
seeing it
you
in
know.
somebody else.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Sure. Well, I would start with just kind of checking in with them, like how are you, what's going on for you, and kind of asking what do you need, how could I support you, what's going on, helping them research what's around for them. But I think it also is about what's available, what area they're in.
Right.
I know patients coming to us are coming from a different kind of set of environments, set of circumstances, some from hospitals, some from home, some are professionals already working, some struggling at college. So there's kind of a range of reasons why we might have patients kind of come and needing support.
And you handle all the different levels, all of those different types of patients, just from.
Well, not at this level of
No.
care, but that's a very good question to actually make that distinction.
Yes.
Someone in crisis wouldn't come to this program.
Okay.
That's where you're going to access your emergency care, your community mental health, maybe even, as Anna said, a psychiatric unit. But to put a finer point on what Anna is saying, you know, when somebody walks through something in life, a sentinel event, a trauma, you know, how do we know if they need help? The research says that 95% of us actually can get through trauma on our own, provided there is a rich environment around us. So what does that look like? I have a home, I have a job, I have friends, I have all of my basic needs met, I feel supported, I feel seen, I feel heard. Through those types of resources and our resiliency and our sense of hope, we can walk through. But we know that many of us do not have these rich environments. And so what you will see start to emerge is difficulties in major life domains. They're social, relational, professional, recreational, even things like disturbances in sleep, diet, you know, the habits they used to, they don't anymore. You know your people, you know their patterns, you know how they show up in life. If you know something's happened and you start to see something different, not temporary, because we're all going to have an immediate response.
moments.
Yeah, and a normal
Right.
reaction to
Right.
something.
Makes
Yes.
sense.
It's the difference
a good
between
point.
something bad happens and you fall apart. You know, you go down on one knee. For me, I go into my walk-in closet and cry, and then I come out. Right? You know, that's falling apart, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But that protracted, something bad happens to me. Now I'm going to go to pieces. I'm going to go into my bed. I'm going to pull the covers over my head and say, "There's nothing I can do about
Right.
it."
It's a very
That
different
prolonged
conversation.
response, that change in worldview, habit, behavior. That's when you want to say, "I think there's something we might need to do."
Good point.
Yeah, like when the overall quality of life has taken a hit in their daily functioning.
So the room that we're sitting in, this is so spectacular. I mean, look at these windows. It lets in all the sunlight we have here in Florida. What is this room used for?
So this is our auditorium. It can seat just about 75, 80 people. And this room was designed for events like this, but also community education for clinicians and interested community partners coming in to meet, convene, discuss best practices. Here at Caron, we do a lot for our patients, but we can't do everything. So there are pieces, especially after discharge, housing, case management, continuing care in terms of psychiatry and medicine. So we use this space to commune, to come together, to form those alliances and relationships and strengthen our community partnerships and have them come in here also and hear about us. We also offer continuing education. We do fundraising events here. We do networking events. So very useful.
Things like this.
Versus, yeah.
I mean, it's a great space for anything. It really is. When you come in, you're like, oh, I'm in like a party room. Like, I don't know. It is. And so if you're here to learn and to grow your knowledge in a room like this, I mean, how inspiring.
And I know Caron has been around for, like you said, over 60 years. Every organization have a way to define success. How do you guys define success here at Caron?
Well, I think we'd like to answer that first from the mental health track program. I'm going to let Anna add on to my answer, but I'm going to answer it as the clinical director because I have a little bit more of a different perspective. But I see success as being two-pronged, why we're successful in mental health track. And the research says that there's kind of a trifecta of fundamental supports that a person with mental illness needs to succeed in life. And that is housing, that is meaning and purpose, and that is a sense of community. When you look at our program, and Anna will speak to it in more definition, we meet all three of those fundamental needs. You look at other programs, they can do one, they can do two. We go to the science and the research and find out what works, and that's what we do. The second reason I think our program is successful is our team. We have a wonderful team. Anna leads this team. We have a staff psychologist, family therapist, primary therapist, and an ARNP psych. That it's an interdisciplinary approach, right? And this team embodies what it means to provide safety, trust, collaboration, kindness. These are required elements to work with the population that we do. And they not only take care of their patients, they also take care of each other.
That's a big deal.
And that is a big deal because the work that we do, as you mentioned, can be very difficult.
Tolling.
Keep
Very
attention on
tolling.
you.
Right.
I mean,
Self-care is key.
it is.
Yeah.
Like, I give you all the credit in the world because, I mean, I thankfully realized I was not emotionally strong enough to do what you do. Because you have to be able to feel for the people, but also not take it home, especially when you have multiple patients.
Right.
And how many patients do you see on average here?
So for the mental health program, we're a 10-bed program, so it's a smaller, intimate program. Because of mental health problems, we want to make sure that we really create a sense of peer support and community by having it be a smaller number. But the building itself, I don't know the number for the
For
exact
40
building.
beds here.
Wow.
There we go. Taryn knows.
So helping 40 people or even 10 people,
10
I mean,
for
even,
us,
even
yes.
2 people or 1 person, I mean, that's a lot on any person.
But you
when
look at it, it's quality
when
over
you're-
quantity at the end of
Exactly,
the
when
day.
you're
Yeah.
giving them that
It
care.
is. And to kind of bring it back to success, for the mental health patients in particular, the biggest way that we identify success is just kind of how they're feeling by the time it comes to leaving and how committed they are to continuing care and continuing to work on themselves. Because we involve family in treatment as well with the family therapist that Taryn mentioned, it's also really helpful to see what change the family sees in the family system, but also in their loved one who's going through treatment. But in other ways, though, we do diagnostic testing as part of our program. So we get a lot of feedback from patients and families that they're coming to us and they're really able to clarify diagnosis, what's going on for their loved one. They've been unsure, not been on the right medication for a while. So we really kind of try to give them answers and get them where they need to be and do some of the work so that then able to continue in the community and continue to kind of live the life that they want and live with their mental health struggles. And with regards to what patients do when they leave, we've had, I think it's 45% of our patients have actually decided to stay in the local area. Because there are other mental health resources here. Yeah, they love it. And because we really want them to integrate in the community while they're with us. They go out on the weekends, they can go out on passes with alumni that we have, so that they have the opportunity to practice the skills they learn in treatment out in the community. So they're not kind of siloed or bubbled just to these walls here. We want them to go to the supermarket and kind of practice what they've learned in there or in a restaurant. And then I think 30% of our patients have actually remained under the Caron umbrella. So it's also helpful to know that they've taken the recommendations and going and having continuing care.
Wow, that's wonderful.
It is.
Such a beautiful facility, such great people working here.
Yes.
I mean, if someone is out there and they are looking for help or a loved one, how can they get in touch with you?
Sure, so our website is caron.org, that's C-A-R-O-N, caron.org, and that's a great place to find us. I believe our number should also populate on the screen if you'd like to call us and speak to any one of our team or speak to admissions if you have any direct questions. There's a lot of information about the different programs on our website, and you'll see our faces are on our programs so that you'll know that you found the right one if you go to it online.
And is there anything else that you want to make sure that people know?
I think one of the things you mentioned earlier about the sense of community, and that is one of, I think, the biggest takeaways from our patients. And we've had patients discharge recently, and they've spoken so positively about how their mental health gets normalized here. There is no stigma of depression, bipolar, like any flare of psychosis, that they come here and they're just kind of treated like a human, which is what we want.
And what they deserve.
That's what they deserve.
So they really kind of thanked us for the way we treat with them with compassion and non-judgmental lens, and also the support that they get from each other. I think that's the biggest thing that I feel proud of with the program.
And I think it's important for your audience to know that while we're highlighting the mental health track today, we also have a number of other programs. As mentioned previously, we have our detox program, we have our older adult program, we have a young professionals program, and again, our signature program, Ocean Drive. So our admission specialists are there to help you sort out what program might be appropriate for yourself or your loved one. What's beautiful about the caring continuum of care, and Anna and I have experienced this, is we've had patients come into one of our programs and actually move across the continuum. They may have started out in one of our dual diagnosis addiction program, but once that addiction clears, we find out that that was really masking a mental health diagnosis. So we immediately can transfer them over to Anna's program without that disruption of another transfer, another team, another setting to get used to. So that's been very helpful in terms of retention and people actually completing programs.
Yeah, I agree with that. And just one thing to add to that as well is age doesn't necessarily matter in this program either. We've had from 18 to 73. Because it's mental health, it doesn't matter. There's always ways to share and connect with the cohort. So don't let that be a deterrent to you if you're looking for seeking treatment.
Thank you. Thank you for
Thank you guys
having
very
us,
much.
and thank you for all that
Thank
you're
you
doing
very much for
for
having
our
us.
community. It's a huge thing to be able to have a facility like this that can offer this level of care.
Thank you very much for having
We
us.
appreciate
Thank
being
you.
able to speak to both of you about the work that we're doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Wow, I mean, this is unbelievable.
So, as we were sitting here talking, and I know she talked about the other programs that they have. It took me back. I watched this segment on Netflix, the show Painkiller. There's a series, and it talks about the OxyContin, just how it came about and things of that nature, and how it destroyed families. And then in there was a success story of a father, that went through this whole rehab process. But it's good to know that we have something like this here in our backyard.
Absolutely.
Because we know even with OxyContin, what the drug world, really the impact that it had on Delray Beach alone, or even just South Florida, and knowing that there's organizations like here that's combating that is refreshing, big time.
And the thing too to think about is, that one individual has a greater community like they talked about here, but before they come here. And so how does that affect the whole community around them? So they're changing lives, many, many, many lives here.
And they've been doing it for 60 years, so it's not like they just popped up out of nowhere.
Yes.
They've been doing this for a while.
Absolutely.
So, yes. So anything else? I'm gonna let you take us out today, and
You're gonna let me?
I'm gonna let you do it because you haven't been here.
He's gonna make me close it, guys. This is gonna be awkward. Well, thank you so much for spending this morning or afternoon if you tune in later. We are so happy to be here in beautiful Delray Beach. And on that, we're gonna say,
Have a Delray day. Peace. Holla, holla. Baby, baby. We love you.
I invite you to join me at the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, because here we're all about community. With like-minded people and businesses, the Chamber will help your business grow. And you get to connect with people that will become your best friends. Weekly events give you ample opportunities to learn alongside talented professionals. At the Delray Beach Chamber of Commerce, we are better together. Become a member at delraybeach.com.